I watched Gary Payton control. Gary Payton and Charles Barkley was two of the arguably best trash talkers I ever experienced. I saw Gary Payton control the referees, his coach, my coach, the crowd, the lady in the front, the guy who was on the side of the Minnesota game sitting in the bucket. He was controlling the whole game.
It's magical.
I watched GP back down the guard from baseline to baseline, talking the whole time. Shut your ass up. Throw up, twist. Hey, get his ass in here. Hey, come up. Hey, you see the hand on the hip, call it if you see it. Like, he just, that sound like it. Finally hit me, I'm like, how is GP managing all this? He talking to me. He calling the play. He throwing the ball like, yo, and still scoring the ball, stealing the ball, effective. In the huddle, he got the thing, he drawing it up. Yeah. I'm like, yo, GP to me was like masterful. Charles Barkley was another level of trash talking because he would end up fighting you or trying to fight you, but he instilled fear in everybody on the court. Gary Payton actually used it to get fouls, to get his teammates fouls, to get guys in and out. Like he was just a control freak. You know, and if you went to a party with Gary, he was doing the same thing. Where the drinks at? Yeah. Y'all ain't drinking? Shots over here. Get them out of here. Me, man. Who with them? Right. I was just like, okay, this is GP. This is just who GP is. So, yeah, I saw it. You know, so I guess that would kind of be my example of GP was kind of my example of what I wanted to. But I give Gary, shout to GP, man. GP. We was in the everybody's talking about the 20th anniversary of Vince winning the dunk contest in Oakland, right? What y'all don't know is that Kobe Bryant, rest in peace to my dog, he took another level of being a defensive standpoint because Gary Payton after practice, all-star practice, pulled us to the side because Kobe asked him something. He pulled both of us to the side. He said, let me tell y'all something. Look, when you're playing defense, and then he went through a 30-minute joint with both of us with defense. And keeping us between the legs and reaching and how to reach. And when you reach up and just little tricks of the trade that next time I saw Kobe after the break, he was using it. Came first team that year. First time I seen him, I said, you used that shit, GP show. He said, you saw it? You got his ass, you saw it? Yeah, I saw it. Bitch ass nigga. So I caught that shit. You think I saw it. But I knew that only the three of us was part of that. So I was like, you got the rip. You saw that shit. I thought he was going to call a foul. He didn't call that shit. I said, wow, because GP taught us when you rip somebody to go through their chest versus using your hand. You see this, right? He told us to take a step and come through your chest and then round out. There's no way you can protect the ball. You can't cross it back. Once I'm in your cab, you can't cross it up. You would either have to turn your back. Oh, man, I saw Kobe take that first night. After the break, I saw it. You know, we wasn't no texting and none of that back then, but when I first saw him, I shot it. It stayed right here when I saw him. He knew exactly what I was talking about. Students of the game. Shout out to GP for that, yo. No doubt.
Kevin Garnett jumped off from high school to pros. I know, I believe Moses Malone was the first person to go from high school to pros. I want to say it was Moses Malone. But before Kevin Garnett did it, no one went from high school to pro in a very long time. And he's the one that jumped it off. And then the next year, Kobe went to the league. And then after that, it was Tracy McGrady. And then everybody started coming. Jermaine O'Neal and all these people. But Kevin Garnett was the one that jumped it off first. Well, not first, but first in like 20 years or something like that. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. What up, though? This is Kevin Melson with Beyond Your Limits, and in this video here, we got Kevin Garnett on the All the Smoke podcast, and he's actually talking about trash talking. But I want to talk about communication. He's talking about how Gary Payton was controlling the entire game with his communication, talking to everybody, and communication is key on the basketball court. You go, whatever college practice you go to, that's one of the main things they stress is communication. You got to be talking. You got to let your teammates know what's going on. If you're in the back line of the defense, you need to be letting the people up top know what's going on. If your man's going to set a screen, you need to let them know. You need to just talk, and that can help your team out a lot. It's just communication, letting your teammates know what's going on in the play. And there's also communication without using your mouth. Like you can see something on that the defense is doing that you might have an advantage. You might be able to give your point guard a look like this guy's overplaying. You know, I'm about to go back door. We used to when we popped out, if we were going to go back door, we used to hold our fist down as we ran out. That was telling my point guard that I was going to back door, that this guy's overplaying me. So if my fist is ball while I'm running out, he know that I'm going to back door and things like that. But if you get even, you know, a better, you know, if you've been with your point guard for a while, I mean, you might be able to just look at him and be able to tell just by a look, you know, and things like that. So communication is extremely key in basketball. It can help your team out a lot, especially on defense, you know, what defensive assignments and stuff like that. If somebody's out of position, talking to them, getting them in position, those things are very key. Communication is also extremely key off the court. You need to be communicating with your coach. You need to know what your role is on the team. What does your coach expect from you? And then you can execute these things at a high level if you know what you're supposed to be doing out there. So you want to always communicate with your coach. You want to be on the same page. You want to know what his expectations are for you and what he's expecting from you. And those things can help you stay on the court for a long time. You could be out here, you know, scoring a bunch of points. Well, maybe that's not what your coach wants for you. Maybe that'll get you to the bench. Maybe your coach wants you to rebound. So if you rebound, that's what's going to keep you on the court. And so maybe he'll tolerate you shooting a lot of shots because you're doing first and foremost what he wants you to do, which is rebound. And so that might give you leeway in another area to do something else. But you always want to make sure that you got covered what it is that your coach wants you to do, because that'll keep you on the court. The second point I wanted to point out to you guys is that Kobe Bryant, who is an all-star at this point, one of the best players in the NBA, he sought out Gary Payton, who was probably considered the best wing defender at that time. And he sought him out to ask him about defense and how he could become a better defender. And that's a great thing for you guys to understand, is that no matter how good you are, there are people that know things that you don't know. There's people that's better at certain things than you, and you can get a lot of information from them. And and Kevin Garnett spoke on how Gary Payton pulled them aside and showed them, you know, different tips and tricks that they could do. And Kobe Bryant ended up making the all-defensive team for the first time, and he's also known as a great defender throughout his career. And I'm sure a lot of that he has to give credit to Gary Payton, and also for his ability to be able to accept that he didn't know everything and that he could get better at something and that people could teach him. And that's something that you should take with you. Always be curious. If you see somebody doing something that you would like to do, go ask them how they did it. You know, that's a great trait to have. It's a great thing that will help you out throughout your career. Also, click the link in the description, click the link in the bio. We got a great course in there about reading the defense and attacking the basket. And thank you guys for watching this video. I'm out.